tomorrow morning. So this is a City of Peoria proclamation. Whereas 1 in 3 adolescents in the United States is a victim of physical, emotional, or verbal abuse from a dating partner, a figure that far exceeds other types of violence affecting youth. And whereas high school students who witness, experience, or perpetrate physical violence in a dating relationship are more likely to use drugs and alcohol, are at greater risk of suicide, and are much more likely to carry patterns of abuse into future relationships. And whereas nearly half of teens who experience dating violence report that incidents of abuse took place in a school building or on school grounds. And whereas by providing young people with education about red flags, red flags and root causes of violence, and building skills for healthy relationships, and by changing attitudes that support violence, we recognize that teen dating violence can be prevented. And whereas it is essential to raise community awareness and to provide training for teachers, parents, caregivers, youth service providers, and trusted adults so that they may recognize when youth are exhibiting signs of dating violence and serve as allies for prevention. And whereas the establishment of Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month will benefit young people, their families, schools, and communities by spreading awareness that everyone has the right to a safe and healthy relationship and to be free of abuse. Now, therefore, I, Kathy Carlett, Mayor of the City of Peoria, Arizona, do hereby proclaim February as Teen Dating Violence Awareness and Prevention Month.
Thank you, Mayor Arlett, and thank you, City Council and the City of Peoria for your long-standing support of Bloom 365 and our efforts to address everything that you just read in that proclamation. For those of you who don't know about our organization, we are truly youth-centered and youth-led, so I'm not going to hold the mic too long, but I just want to share what we do in the City of Peoria so that if any of you know young people who might benefit from our services, that you can share our resources. We provide a 7-lesson education curriculum in Peoria Unified School District schools, as well as charter schools within the City of Peoria. That education leads to young people who reach out for help because they've witnessed, experienced, or potentially perpetrated dating violence, domestic violence, or sexual violence. That also leads to interventions for young people who say, hey, I'm controlling, I'm abusive, I'm violent, what do I do? I need some support because I recognize these signs in me. And the other part of our work, really most importantly, is we train school personnel, adults, parents, caregivers, anybody that interacts with youth on what do you do if these signs show up. And the key to our work is everybody standing here. We adults cannot do this work. This Generation Z and Generation Alpha, they have the power and potential to uproot abuse for their generation. And they're all trained peer advocates here, some members of our staff, but I want to share the mic with Sambi Tiwari, who is going to share a little bit about why she got involved in this movement and her big call to action for the City of Peoria.
Thank you, Donna. Hi, I'm Sambi. I'm the lead peer advocate at Basis Peoria. I have the honor of being here today, and I've also invited a couple of my PAC members, and I feel like it's really important that I recognize them because they've helped me so much with the club that I have at my school. So we have Kira, Tatiana, who have sacrificed the school night to be here today in this really great day. I got involved with Bloom because I noticed signs within my high school and within my communities, and I wanted to help because before joining Bloom, I had no idea how to even recognize the signs and symptoms of teen dating violence, and I feel like a lot of people don't know how to do that. So I feel like as a Peoria citizen, it's my responsibility to help people recognize the symptoms and to help whoever I can overcome anything that they're going through. And so at my school, I have a PAC where I help educate teens at my school to go out and help their communities and help whoever they need help, who they see needing help, get the resources that they need and direct them to Bloom. I think this work is really important in our communities, and I'm really passionate about it. And That's why I encourage everyone to go orange on Friday, because Friday is the first Friday, and so that recognizes Kickstart's February as Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. And a statistic that we like to throw out here is that it only takes 10% of a population to create change. So if 10% of people are seen wearing orange, then that's enough to spark curiosity within anybody else who sees them. And that's enough to create change and to raise awareness for people to recognize, hey, why are you wearing orange? Great question. I'm wearing orange so that I can help spread awareness for Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. And so that's why it's really great to wear orange on Friday, February 7th. And I encourage everyone to do so. Thank you so much, Mayor,